In the ever-growing world of hybrid SUVs, the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid continues to stand out, not just for its aggressive styling and bold design, but also for what it offers under the hood. With a highly efficient turbo-hybrid powertrain, a tech-rich cabin, and Kia's reputation for value, the Sportage Hybrid seems to check all the right boxes for modern-day drivers who want performance and practicality without going full EV. But of course, no SUV is perfect. From tight rear headroom to pricing that's creeping upward, the 2026 model brings a few compromises worth considering. So in this video, we're diving deep into 5 standout pros and 5 real-world drawbacks to help you decide whether the Sportage Hybrid is the right fit for your garage. If you're in the market for a fuel-efficient compact SUV that doesn't feel boring to drive, or just want to know where the Sportage Hybrid shines and where it stumbles, this one's for you. Let's get into it. This is Parth, and you are watching MotorNation. Let's kick things off with what immediately grabs your attention: the design. The 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid carries forward its bold, futuristic styling with a few subtle yet impactful refinements. The distinctive stacked LED headlights, boomerang-shaped DRLs, and updated front fascia give it an assertive road presence that turns heads, especially compared to the more conservative lines of some rivals like the RAV4 or CRV. But it's not just about looks. Step inside, and the cabin feels like something from a class above. You're greeted by a pair of crisp, curved 12.3-inch displays that stretch across the dash, seamlessly integrating the digital gauge cluster with the infotainment system. The touch interface is smooth, the graphics are sharp, and with the latest version of Kia's UI, it's more intuitive than ever. Add to that ambient lighting, premium materials, and higher trims, and practical touches like a multi-level center console and sliding cup holders, and you've got an interior that feels both stylish and smart. Whether you're commuting daily or taking a long road trip, the 2026 Sportage Hybrid makes sure the cabin keeps up with the tech-focused lifestyle of today's drivers. Under the hood, the 2026 Sportage Hybrid isn't just efficient, it's surprisingly punchy. Kia pairs a 1.6-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine with a 44 kilowatts electric motor and a 6-speed automatic transmission to create a well-balanced hybrid setup that delivers a combined 231 horsepower. That's more than what you'll get from hybrid rivals like the Toyota RAV4 or Honda CRV. And the difference shows when you're merging onto highways or overtaking at speed. The electric motor assists seamlessly during takeoff and low-speed cruising, while the turbo engine provides a satisfying push when you need it. The result? Smooth power delivery and confident acceleration, all without the droning CVT feel you get in some competitors. And then there's the fuel economy, a major selling point. The front-wheel drive model delivers an impressive 42 miles per gallon combined, while the all-wheel drive version still manages a solid 38 miles per gallon, making it one of the most efficient SUVs in its segment. Whether you're navigating daily traffic or heading out on a weekend adventure, the Sportage Hybrid proves you don't have to sacrifice performance to save the pump. Now, let's talk comfort. And this is where the 2026 Sportage Hybrid really shines. Built on Kia's N3 platform, the Sportage benefits from a longer wheelbase than many competitors, translating into noticeably more legroom, especially in the rear seats. Even taller passengers will find the second row surprisingly spacious, making it a strong contender for families or anyone who regularly carries adult-sized rear passengers. But it's not just the space, it's the experience. Kia has worked to dial in superior sound insulation, keeping road and wind noise to a minimum, even at highway speeds. The hybrid powertrain's electric assist further enhances cabin quietness in city driving, where you'll often glide along in near silence. On the move, the suspension is tuned for comfort, soaking up potholes and uneven pavement with grace. Whether you're running errands around town or taking a long weekend road trip, the ride quality feels stable, soft, and refreshingly refined for a compact SUV. All in all, the Sportage Hybrid interior offers the kind of comfort and quietness you'd expect in a much more expensive vehicle, and that's no small feat. Now let's talk about value, and the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid might just be one of the smartest buys in its segment. With a starting price of around $31,685, the hybrid model asks for only about $1,300 more than the gas-only variant. That's a relatively small jump, especially when you consider what you're getting in return: a fuel-efficient 231 horsepower hybrid system, better low-end torque, and fewer trips to the gas station. Over time, that efficiency can pay for itself, especially for drivers who rack up the miles. But value isn't just about savings at the pump. It's also about peace of mind. And Kia delivers big here with its industry-leading 10-year per 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, backed by a 5-year per 60,000-mile basic warranty. It's the kind of long-term coverage that not only gives you confidence, but also reduces total ownership costs down the road, especially if you're planning to keep your vehicle past the typical loan term. You're also getting a lot of standard tech and safety features that are optional in rival models, like dual 12.3-inch displays, adaptive cruise control, wireless Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, and advanced driver aids. That means fewer upgrade costs when choosing your trim. Altogether, the Sportage Hybrid isn't just a budget-conscious pick. It's a high-value package that blends affordability with lasting dependability. And that's a rare combo in today's SUV market. And finally, let's talk about something that really affects your day-to-day experience: safety and smart convenience. The 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid packs in some impressive safety upgrades that bring it closer to premium territory. You now get forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian and cyclist detection as standard, along with blind spot collision avoidance, lane keeping assist, and rear cross traffic alert, all working together to create a cocoon of protection around you and your passengers. But what really makes the difference this year is the addition of highway driving assist 2, an advanced semi-autonomous system that can manage steering, acceleration, and braking on the highway, while also assisting with lane changes when conditions allow. It's a big step toward hands-off driving comfort, especially during long commutes or road trips. And then there are the thoughtful touches inside, the kind of things you don't always think about until you need them. We're talking about clever rear seat headrest hooks for hanging bags, adjustable and configurable cup holders, and smartly placed USB-C ports for every passenger. You can even opt for a head-up display, which projects key information like speed and navigation right onto the windshield, so your eyes never leave the road. Together, these features don't just make the Sportage Hybrid safer. They make it smarter, easier to live with, and better suited for the demands of everyday driving. Let's start with a downside that might catch driving enthusiasts off guard: the suspension and steering feel. Now, don't get us wrong. The 2026 Sportage Hybrid rides incredibly well on smooth highways and city streets. That soft suspension tuning is perfect for soaking up bumps and potholes, making everyday commutes feel buttery smooth. But here's the trade-off. That same soft setup tends to compromise body control when you're on rougher or twisty roads. There's noticeable body roll in corners, and over undulating surfaces, the Sportage can feel a bit floaty. It's not unstable, just not as planted or confident as some rivals like the Mazda CX-5 or Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Add to that the light, comfort-tuned steering, which, while great for easy parking and city maneuvers, lacks the feedback and precision that make for an engaging drive. It can feel a bit disconnected at higher speeds or on winding back roads, leaving you wishing for more responsiveness. So while the Sportage Hybrid is tuned for comfort and nails that aspect, drivers looking for a sportier or more connected feel behind the wheel may find it a little underwhelming. Next up, let's talk about something that looks futuristic, but isn't always friendly in day-to-day use: the touch-based control panel. The 2026 Sportage Hybrid features a sleek dual-function digital bar that controls both the climate settings and media interface. Visually, it's clean and modern, helping the cabin feel high-tech and uncluttered. But the catch? It uses the same set of touch-sensitive buttons for two completely different systems. To switch between climate control and audio functions, you have to tap a small mode icon, and it's easy to forget which mode you're in while driving. That means something as simple as turning down the AC or changing the song can become a distracting process, especially when you're on the move. Unlike traditional knobs and buttons that offer tactile feedback, this setup demands more attention, and some users report a frustrating learning curve during their first few weeks with the vehicle. It's sleek, no doubt, but some might argue that form got a little ahead of function here. Next up is a point that might fly under the radar until you check the fine print, and that's the fuel economy difference between front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions. The 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid in FWD guise delivers an excellent EPA-estimated 42 miles per gallon combined, thanks to its efficient 1.6-liter turbocharged engine paired with a 44 kilowatts electric motor and 6-speed automatic transmission. But opt for the AWD version, and you'll see that number dip to about 38 miles per gallon combined. That's a roughly 10% drop. Not drastic, but noticeable, especially if you're buying a hybrid primarily for its efficiency. And while 38 miles per gallon is still better than many gas-only crossovers, it falls slightly behind competitors like the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid AWD, which hovers closer to 40 miles per gallon even with all four wheels powered. For buyers in snowy or off-road prone regions, AWD is often a must, but it comes at the cost of reduced fuel savings and slightly higher maintenance over time. So if you're looking to stretch every gallon, the FWD version is clearly the better bet. But if you need the grip, just know the trade-off exists. Now let's talk price, because while the Sportage Hybrid offers great value in the base trims, the story changes a bit as you move up the ladder. Starting at around $31,700, the hybrid models do come with more standard features than their gas-only counterparts, like dual 12.3-inch displays, advanced driver assistance tech, and better fuel economy. But once you climb into the EX or SX Prestige trims, that affordability starts to shift. Top-end trims can exceed $38,000 to $40,000, especially if you opt for all-wheel drive or add optional packages like the panoramic sunroof or premium Harman Kardon audio system. And that's where the price premium becomes more noticeable. By comparison, a similarly equipped Toyota RAV4 Hybrid XLE Premium or Honda's CR-V Hybrid Sport Touring can be had for roughly the same amount, or even slightly less, depending on the incentives. Last but not least, let's step into the back seat, because while the front of the cabin feels packed with innovation, the rear still feels a bit forgotten. Yes, the 2026 Sportage Hybrid offers generous legroom and headroom for rear passengers, and the seats themselves are well cushioned for comfort on long rides. But when it comes to rear seat amenities, it doesn't go as far as some rivals. You do get rear air vents, but ventilation performance feels sluggish, especially in extreme weather. There's also no dedicated climate zone or control panel back there, even on higher trims, meaning passengers can't fine-tune airflow or temperature on their own. In an era where competitors are adding rear USB-C ports, seat heaters, and even sunshades at mid-level trims, Kia's decision to keep things minimal in the rear cabin feels like a missed opportunity, especially for families or rideshare use. So what's the final word on the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid? It's a well-rounded mid-size SUV that blends sharp looks, solid hybrid performance, and impressive fuel efficiency with an interior that punches above its price class. You get thoughtful tech that's quiet and room cabin, and the peace of mind that comes with Kia's legendary range. But it's not without its quirks, like the touch panels running curve, soft ride that multiple spirited drivers, and rear seat features that feel a generation new. And if you're eyeing higher trims, be prepared for an amazing bump. Still, for many buyers, the Sportage Hybrid strikes a near-perfect balance of efficiency and comfort, everyday practicality. If you want a stylish hybrid SUV that won't drain the wallet of the bump or in the long run, it's one of the smartest fits in sales. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and join us here on MotorNation for more car comparisons, reviews, and auto insights every week. Until next time, drive safe.